Greg Ehrenberg here with a Friday Monkey Knife Fight picks video. Guys, if you are new to Monkey Knife Fight, head on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Use the promo code Awesemo on your first deposit. Get up to a $100 bonus on that first deposit. One of the first contests I'm looking at on Monkey Knife Fight is a more or less the two pitchers we're looking at here are Alek Manoah and Charlie Morton. Now, if you're playing on traditional DFS sites today, these are two of the most popular pitchers on the slate, and for good reason. There's not very many good pitching options today, even though we have 14 baseball games tonight. Most of the pitchers kind of suck if we're being honest, but two of the more quality ones, Alek Manoah and Charlie Morton, both of them more or less 6.5 strikeouts. I like more than 6.5 for both of these guys. Two pretty good strikeout pitchers. If we look at Charlie Morton's numbers for the year, a 27.6% K rate. He also has a favorable matchup going up against the Miami Marlins. Alek Manoah, he does not have quite as strong a matchup against the Tampa Bay Rays, but he's been such a prolific strikeout pitcher, 29.1% K rate, that I like him to get more than 6.5 strikeouts. Both these guys, I think, two of the better pitchers from a fantasy perspective going tonight. The next contest I'm looking at here on Monkey Knife Fight, it's another more or less, except this one with two pitchers that are not nearly as strong as starting pitchers as the guys that I talked about in the first contest. So here we have Zach Thompson, Vince Velasquez, two pitchers that I think could struggle a little bit today. So starting with Zach Thompson, I like him to get less than 17.5 total outs. The reason being is you look at his numbers this year in the big leagues, he's had success, 2.25 ERA, 3.34 expected ERA. But he's 27 years old. He's just making his major league debut, about a month ago. And if you look at his overall minor league stats, they leave a lot to be desired. In AAA this year with Miami, he had a 6.6 ERA. There were no minor league numbers from 2020. But you go back to 2019. In AAA, Thompson had a 5.5 ERA. So look at some of those numbers. I think that there's regression coming his way. As for Vince Velasquez, he's been, a mediocre to below average pitcher for a little while this year, 4.5 ERA and 4.58 expected ERA this year. But the thing that really gets me here is that he's going to be pitching in the American League. He's going to be pitching in Boston. So at Fenway, favorable hitters park, also a really tough lineup. Boston is one of the best offense in baseball. So I like Vince Velasquez to give up more than 5.5 hits today. Another contest that I'm looking at over here on Monkey Knife Fight is I'm looking at the Chicago White Sox Baltimore Orioles individual game and checking out a rapid fire here. So I want to touch on the Chicago White Sox offense a little bit. This is going to be the most popular stack on traditional DFS sites, and for good reason. Anytime an offense is going up against the Baltimore Orioles, they're probably in a good spot. The Baltimore Orioles, basically none of their pitchers deserve to be in the big leagues. That goes for their starting pitchers. That goes for the relief pitchers. It just goes for pretty much everybody in that organization there that's able to throw a baseball. It generally doesn't go well for them. Jorge Lopez has arguably been one of their better starting pitchers this year, and still, he has an ERA over 6. He's been no good. So right off the bat, I'm looking at Tim Anderson versus Trey Mancini for fantasy points. I'm going to side with Tim Anderson for the simple fact that he gets to go up against those Baltimore Orioles starting pitchers. So give me Tim Anderson here against Trey Mancini. And then as for Jose Abreu versus Yoan Moncada, Jose Abreu was the AL MVP this year. Moncada's a guy who maybe there's a little bit more fantasy upside there, but in general, Moncada has been a little bit inconsistent this year. So I think the upside might be higher for Moncada, but just the way that these kind of contests work, where it's a head-to-head and we're looking at it more kind of from a cash game perspective and just looking at it as a floor type play, I like Jose Abreu because I do think he offers more floor than Yoan Moncada. So guys, head on over to monkeyknifefight.com, make that first deposit, use the promo code Awesemo, and get up to a $100 bonus on that first deposit. That is promo code Awesemo and monkeyknifefight.com.